Good afternoon, collectors. We are live on Facebook from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. I'm Melinda Seegers, your Miss Littown for Department 56, and I thought we'd try something different today. I don't think we've done anything like this before, and we may not do it again. If you have to let me know if you like this or not. I can't believe it's already August 2020. The year is slipping by quickly. Or it's dragging for some of us, depending upon if you're stuck at home or if you are venturing out a little bit. I hope this finds everyone safe and well, and I hope wherever you are, we're all talking about going back to school. So fingers crossed, and many of the kids will be going back to school in your area. I've received more entries for the Halloween display contest. Remember that you have until September 15th to send in your display photos, and that would be, do I have that later on? No. So let's just briefly go over what you need to do to enter into the contest. I've received several really good entries, so you're got to get your creative juices flowing. It's a vignette, so it's something small. It must contain one current Department 56 Halloween piece, and current means anything that you currently see in the 2020 brochure. So any of the houses, but you are free to use any homemade, handmade, borrowed from another source, accessory. Any of your landscaping pieces can be from other sources. So you got total carte blanche that way. Send your photos and take close-ups, take a couple from back further, and then also send a little story about how you made your display and what you used in there, which house you've used, and what other accessories from Department 56 or other sources you may have used. And if it's things you made, you just say, I used some corn stalks that I made, and you don't have to go into any more detail than that. But you have until September 15th to send in your entries, and our creative team, our artists, Scott Enter, Paul Lundberg, and Tom Bates will be the judges for this, along with Rick Jackson. And they will select 3 winners who will receive a signed lighted piece from Department 56. So if you haven't started your displays, now is the time to get started. And I hope to get lots and lots more in so that we can make their job really difficult in deciding which are the best. So we've added several new things to our website. We did add an article on the history of animation. And remember, I showed that big centerfold picture of our very, very first animated piece, the animated skating pond, last time, and Nate's got that up on our website in the blog section for us. And he's also working on a really nicely done video of our 2020 showroom. And in our 2020 showroom, we have almost everything that we have had for 2020. He shows it in great detail. It's set to music, and it takes a little less than 10 minutes. So it is something that it would be worth showing at a meeting, or if you've got someone who's new to collecting. It's really a very nicely done display. We'll let you know when that's going to be up online pretty soon. Next couple of weeks, Nate? Okay. Nate thinks maybe next week he'll get that up. So by the next time we meet, that should be up, and there'll probably be something that will call out to it on the Department 56 website homepage, or a blog article. We'll show it so that it will be easy for you to find. So the other thing I wanted to mention, we've just started again doing gift cards. They'll all be done electronically through our website. It's the perfect kind of gift, perfect kind of non-contact gift that you can give someone. You can remember a friend or a relative. And the neatest part about these gift cards is you can select a date to have them sent. So if you're thinking about it now, or you have the extra money now and you say, hey, my friend's birthday is in October and I don't want to forget to remember her on her special day, you can set it up now and we'll get it sent to her. You can select the image that you want to have on the gift card, and then you can forget about it, and when her birthday comes, she'll receive an email with that gift card enclosed in there and how she can use it on the Department 56 website. So I think with that, being able to select a date is just a great way for a non-contact gift to be given to someone. Even clubs can do that if they would like to. Today I'd like to show you how to create a few vignettes. And it's something that, it's kind of how I display my village at home. I have small spaces in my house, and I like to do just a little here and there, kind of sometimes in unexpected places. And if you're not familiar with the word vignette, it comes from the French, which means small or diminutive. So I'd like to show you a few examples using the same two lighted houses here. The ones I have in front of you here, these are both from our Silver series. These are both Dickens Village pieces. This is the Chelsea Gardens house, and it comes with this accessory. It'll come with not this particular tree, but a tree about this size and a bag of snow. This is the Dickens Village Bakery, which again comes with a little baker. He's got a sack of flour over his shoulder, and it also comes with a tree and snow. So you would have something just to get someone started, and these don't take up very much room. And I thought I would use these two pieces today to show you how we can build a few quick and easy vignettes to be used in your home. They're also the perfect kind of little gift to put together for someone who is maybe in an assisted living or in a smaller apartment that doesn't have room for a whole lot of decorations, but you want to remember them. You know they like villages, and we can show you how to go about doing that. I've got a little bit of information that I'll be trying to remember to share that shows that tells you what the sizes of some of these pieces are, so you can get a little bit of an idea. These don't take up very much space. And remember, sometimes it'll be a couple of houses. Sometimes I will simply use a few accessories, because remember, when our artists do the accessory can tell a story all by itself. The first one is going to be this box that I'm going to use. The box I measured is 6 by 11, so that's not much bigger than a piece of paper. This, I'm not sure if it was a jewelry box, or it might have had some tools that came in it. It might have even had a set of steak knives or something. And I'm going to move these to the side and use this turntable here to build. I can do it much quicker if I have it facing me, and then I can flip it around very easily and show you how things are turning out. I just cut a couple of pieces of insulation styrofoam that fit in the box to build it up so that your pieces don't get lost in the container. So that fits in there like that. I'm going to take just some cotton batting, and sometimes you sometimes have to be pretty strong to stretch this stuff out. You can use the buffalo snow or the blanket of fresh fallen snow that comes from Department 56. This almost, when I found this, and I have the advantage of being able to go into our photo studio and borrow what I need. She has bins in there if I need something that's, for example, if you need ribbon, she has a whole big container of ribbon that's just red. So I was very lucky that way. And as you can see, I let the snow spill over the edge. I kind of like that effect. I'm just going to add my houses. And I am using the edge of the box so they hang over just a little bit. I'm going to add in my accessories. Oh, I've got, okay, this one really does need to go by this one, but it doesn't matter. You can, and sometimes it's kind of nice to put a little hole in there so they stand up a little bit better. The other thing you can do to keep them really level is to use a little bit of tacky wax that I have here. Tacky Wax is a product sold by Department 56. It was originally made to keep candles upright, and it's waxy, and you can just take a little bit on your thumb, put it on the bottom. I'm going to put it on the bottom of a tree, and that will keep the tree from toppling over in the display. So you can add as few or as many trees as you would like. I like using some of the bare branch trees. Now in a situation like this, usually your bare branch tree is pretty big. So I just smooshed it down so that it fits in here, adds a little height and a little interest to the display. See what we got there. There you go. I don't think that took more than 2 or 3 minutes, and you've got a cute little display. Being in a box like this, it can be moved. You can put it on your table if you need to move it to use the table for eating. There you go. There's your display. Okay, I'm going to take these pieces back out, and we will build a display using something else. Sometimes that snow is just like an octopus grabbing. This is a little wreath that we got at a craft store, and you know, usually they come pretty flat. You can kind of fluff them out. I would use a wreath this size. This wreath actually measures 8 inches, so it's a really little wreath. It's the kind I would use on a window, and a lot of times then you would put a candle in there. That's been a very popular way of decorating. And you could cut a piece of styrofoam to fit in there, but I was being kind of lazy, and I just took some bubble wrap and kind of crushed it to make it fit so that your house doesn't get lost in there. You want to build up that base a little bit. I'm going to put the houses on. And again, I kind of use the edges of the wreath to balance them on. I'm going to put a little snow in front that covers up. You have to be strong to use this stuff. Well, come on. Well, maybe we're going to use the whole piece because they had more snow there than we anticipated. It's just not gonna cut. But again, you can put as little or as much as you will. I think I like using this kind of snow better than the bags of fresh fallen snow or the real artificial snow. It's not as messy. You have a little more control over what you're doing with it. And again, you can add in your trees. And I like to flatten the bare branch trees so that they don't overwhelm the display. And this one is, we've got the partridge in the pear tree with some really cute little decorations in there. And this is 2 turtle doves. I'm going to add that one in on this side. You can put your accessories in there if you'd like. Some people use accessories, some people just use them without. And yes, it's falling over, but if you took the time to cut a little hole in the styrofoam or in the snow to make your figure stand up better, you can see what a cute little display this can be. And again, this is an 8-inch wreath. It's very tiny, so it doesn't take up much space. And again, it can be moved if need be. You have it in the center of the table. You need to use the center of the table for something else, and there you go. I think the next one I have built, this is one of my favorites. These have been very popular the last few years. Got this at a home goods store. This is a lantern. I love the fact that this came in red. It came with one of these candles that a battery operated candle. It just had a couple of screws in the bottom. I took that out. And you could, if you felt more comfortable, put a little cardboard or something in there to have a flat surface, but I don't think we're even going to bother with that. Take one of our trees that has some really cute decorations on it. I kind of like matching up the red. And then there's several different accessories that you can use with a lantern like this. You leave it open. You can have one of your accessories in front. You can have, and you can see here I have a couple of Santas in different sizes depending upon the size of your lantern. I'm going to put this little one inside here. What a cute little tabletop display this will be. Another thing I tried is I put a couple of little puppies there. If someone likes dogs, I added a ribbon. After I got this all done, I realized that the ribbon is not black and red, it's navy and red, and that bothers me, so I think I would change it out and have something a little brighter on here for a color. But I've just put a piece of ribbon. It took me just a couple of minutes to make. Cute little display. I like it with the door open. If you've got little fingers that are going to be testing things around you, namely grandchildren or small visitors, you can build it inside, close the door, and your display is perfectly safe. Except you got to know how to close the door on it, I guess. Okay. That's the red lantern. And this lantern, by the way, is about, the total height is about 14 inches tall and the interior about 8 inches. So you're limited to a fairly small amount of space. And again, it would look cute on a mantle, on a shelf. And sometimes shelves aren't very deep, so a piece like this with a depth of only a few inches is going to be perfect to put a small display on. Okay, cake stand is another one that really works well to build a small vignette. And I've got just a very simple one here. What I had at home and built mine on at home, I had one that had been my husband's grandmother, so it was kind of a glass one, and that was really pretty. This is just a very basic one, probably something they bought at Michael's or a restaurant supply store. This is a 10-inch in diameter cake stand raised up about 4 inches. And because it's raised up like that, I just think it looks cute to add a little something on the bottom there, so it's just not all here. You've got a little spilling out. I have two houses. Same two houses again. I'm going to put on here. And because this is already white, this one I probably would use the regular artificial snow in front. I think that this gets too bulky here, so I'm just going to use regular snow there. And I've got some trees. And here you really want to add some height into the back. And let's see, I've got more trees here. And when you're putting trees in a display like this, it's very easy to get them close together because you can just kind of nestle them together. And it helps to keep them, two trees real close together makes them stand up together better, and you can put more trees in a smaller spot. So I'm going to put these two big ones here. And I'm going to put a bare branch in front of them right between the trees. I'm going to add some small, I think I had some I'm going to put a little park bench in there. You put some topiaries in. My bench is like that. Okay, and then you put your accessories in and you add some snow in there and you have another really nice looking display. And again, 10 inches of space is all this took. So now we have a multitude of trees on the table here. Okay. Now this is, I've seen people do a lot of different things with slabs of wood from trees. This happens to be a very small piece. I think it's about 6.5 inches in diameter. So this is very small. I mean, you know, if you've got an older tree, you can have lots bigger. And someone had painted the edges white, so that gives it a nice Christmassy look. And okay, this one is going to have the poinsettia card on it. Here's, you can use the little dogs again, and I like to spill off onto the front. I like these trees on here. And what I did with these are the same size. They come already pre-decorated, but I didn't want them to be the same height. So I used a little piece of styrofoam to make one taller. Used a little tacky wax. And in back here, so now they're two different sizes. What do we have here? I put Santa on this one. And then I would tuck some of this snow that is not cooperating very well. I would tuck some of that in here to hide some of the mechanics from the trees. And again, in 6.5 inches, you've got, let's put the dogs up there. That looks like that fits a little bit better. You've got a cute little display in not very much time or very much space. Now this would hold one of the houses, even in something as small as 6.5 inches. Either one of these would fit on there if you were interested in again, using a house. But I think some of these accessories are so well defined that you could use, so you can still put a house on there and end up with a really cute little display. So what's the next one? Okay, we had the 14-inch lantern. We're really going small. I took a little white lantern. And I thought, well, how can we do something a little different? And I thought, well, it's too small to put an accessory inside, but I wanted some color, so I opened it up and I filled it with C7 light bulbs. Now, you could also use peppermints, you could use hard candy, you could use ribbon candy. Hard candy would be what we would call boiled sweets. That's what Tilly's represents. And you could have just your little Santa there, and with the little dogs with the candy cane, that would be appropriate there. And I just tied a little ribbon in one of the C7 bulbs just to add a little color. Another thing that you could do just to make it stand out a little bit, I just took a piece of Christmas fabric, and I wouldn't even make it lay flat. I would kind of pull it like this, and that makes this little lantern stand out. You might decide you want to put a couple of trees if they can detach themselves from the poor snow, and then add the Santa and the little puppies in the front. And this is a 10-inch round display area on my turntable. It's very cute in a small spot. Just add a little Christmas cheer wherever you can. Okay, one of my last ones, maybe this is my last one, is, let's put it on the floor, is a tray. And I like using a tray simply because it'll have handles. You can pick it up and use and move it when you need to. And I just selected a couple of books that were appropriate, and because you don't know what the titles are, if you put the books this way, it adds a little more texture and character to the display. Move that out of the way. And I would probably put just one of these houses on here. That's a little tricky to put that back on there without glasses. There we go. And again, you could add a couple of trees. You could put, I always like putting the bare birch tree. This doesn't look like it has room for that kind of stuff. So just play with it. Enjoy what your space allows. Let's see if we've got a little bench. And use some of the layers in your display. And this is the bakery, so we'll put the baker. He's going in to do some baking. And you could add a little bit of the real plastic snow. Gets a little messy when you're doing quick displays like this. But again, you've got your display all made if you need to move it. The handles, it's a 12-inch tray, and there you go. So I hope some of these have given you some ideas, if not my displays, but you think of things you have in your home that will work for small vignettes and displays. And send us pictures if you've got them. We'd love to be able to put those up on our website and let other people see what you've done. You're a lot more creative than I am sometimes, and I really like that about collectors, because you think of things that we haven't even begun to think of. Let us know if you find these vignettes useful, and I'll try to come up with some more, maybe concentrating on some of the North Pole pieces, or we'll also try to do a session where we show some vignettes that we can do for fall and Halloween. So until next time, please feel free to send us your questions and comments. Hope you have a really good summer. We're getting close to Labor Day, so stay safe, and we'll see you next time.